My parents took me to court over a truck, a 2021 Ford F-150 Lariat that I bought outright with $78,400 of my own money after 8 straight years of 8-year weeks in the oil fields. I was 34 years old, still smelling like hospital disinfectant when I signed the closing papers in Portland. 6 weeks later, a process server handed me a lawsuit, Patricia and Dennis Corwin versus Megan Corwin, demanding I transfer the deed to my 28-year-old sister Haley because the family home should stay in the family. My own mother signed it, my own father notarized it. Haley arrived 4 years after me, and the house restructured around her like she was gravity. I was the rough draft. She was the final version. At 10, I was folding laundry and starting dinner. Haley at 10 had a horse named Butterscotch that I mucked stalls for every morning because she was too sensitive for the smell. At 16, I worked at a nursing home emptying bedpans. Haley at 16 got a trip to Paris for cultural exposure. At 18, I left for nursing school with $800 hidden in a tampon box. Haley at 18 got an $18,000 condo because dorm life is traumatic for introverts. By 2024, I'd worked every hellscape the agency could find. COVID units where we ran out of body bags, Hurricane Maria delivering babies by flashlight, a reservation clinic where backup was a 3-hour helicopter ride. I saved $340,000, got exposed to tuberculosis twice, assaulted by a psych patient, missed every holiday, every birthday. The house was supposed to be my anchor. I paid $312,000 cash, title in my name only. I made the mistake of telling mom. 2 weeks later, Haley showed up with a U-Haul. Mom said you were turning the spare room into a guest suite for me. I made her leave. She cried in the driveway for 40 minutes while filming for Instagram. Caption, when your own sister won't help you during a housing crisis. The lawsuit arrived the following month. Their complaint claimed a verbal family trust, that any property would be shared equally. Claimed I'd used family emotional resources to advance my career. Claimed Haley suffered displacement trauma from being denied her ancestral home equivalent. The house was built in 1924. We're Polish-Irish from Ohio. Discovery was educational. Mom submitted a $5,000 transfer from 2009 as seed money. I had Venmo receipts showing I'd repaid it with interest in 8 months. Haley's deposition was performance art. Cried on cue about how I'd abandoned the family while she stayed as their emotional support system. My attorney played Haley's Instagram. 37 posts from Tulum, Bali, Costa Rica. 0 posts about supporting our parents. How much have your parents given you in the past 5 years? Long pause. $200,000, maybe. Trial was February 2025. Dad testified I'd always been difficult, said he'd told me at 18 that anything I bought would eventually come back to the family. My attorney asked one question. How many times have you visited Megan at any work assignment in 12 years? Silence. 0. 0 visits, 0 calls during COVID when she watched patients die alone. Then Haley took the stand. My attorney introduced Exhibit 47, a text thread between Haley and her best friend, the night before the lawsuit. LOL, can you believe my parents are actually suing Megan for me? Free house incoming. She's going to flip out. Good, maybe she'll finally learn she can't just ignore us and expect to keep all her stuff. The courtroom gasped. Judge Morrison's ruling was ice cold. This court finds no evidence of any agreement entitling the plaintiffs to any interest in defendant's property. The claims are not only without merit, but appear to be an attempt to use this court for family manipulation. Dismissed with prejudice. Plaintiffs pay all attorney fees. In the hallway, Dad grabbed my arm. You happy now? You've destroyed your mother. I looked at him. This man who'd never once asked how I was doing, never visited, watched me work myself raw while handing my sister everything. No, Dad. You destroyed her by teaching Haley the world owes her my life. Haley stared at me. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. 3 months later, Haley posted a GoFundMe for healing after her family trauma. She raised $847. I donated 0.